All right, I'm back on the pallet barn build. Braved the rain yesterday to get my beams put on the front and working on getting my purlin put in right now. What I'm doing right now is tying the purlins together. This is actually 3 pieces up here, and I'm using these plates to tie them all together. I've already started on the back, so I'm going to finish that up. So let's take a little closer look at a couple things. So hopefully you can see how this is coming together, and you might think that's not much of a barn. It looks more like a box trailer or something, but it's going to come out here. So the rafters will come up here, and this will be the middle, and this will all be roofed in, and then it'll come off here, and there'll be 4x4 posts concrete into the ground along through here, and this area will be where the pigs will be, and we'll build some stalls in there with some crush rail and creeps and all that good stuff that they need for having piglets. And then we'll fence in something I haven't quite decided yet. I want to leave this area open so I can travel my tractor back and forth. So it's limiting me a little bit on this side. The other side I can go all the way to the garden, and we'll probably, I'm not sure how far down we'll go, but we're a good ways from getting to that point yet. We got to get this structure built and go from there. All right, so we'll start off right here at the entryway, and this is a bit of an oversight for me. I put these 2x4s at 24-inch centers, and you'll see this one here is not 24, but it was before I cut off to put my main beam in there. What that ended up doing was a little bit of an oversight for me. I wouldn't call it a mistake, it's just an oversight. Is it only left my doorway 30 inches, and I don't know what kind of door I'm going to put in there yet, but I know I want one bigger than what I'm going to be able to put in there, so I'm probably going to have to cut these 2x4s out. I think the door will obviously be that high, so I think I can just cut them off up here somewhere, put my header in, and reestablish some 2x4s for the sides. I went over and looked at my other barn. It was here when we got the property, and the purlin extends out past the side to create the overhang, and I did not do that there. After I realized it, I did leave the back side hung off. It's way bigger than what I need, but I'll cut it off to fit. And then I'll just come back and box this in, kind of like we did the house here when we built it. I did the same similar process to that. And then the 2x6 that's flat up there that I set my purlin on top of. The only reason I did that is because I'll most likely be putting rafters up there by myself, and I wanted that in order to set them on while I work back and forth both sides, getting them square and attached. And then something else that troubled me a little bit, and I don't really understand what's going on, is each of these beams, you can see I put the 9-foot mark. This pole over here, this beam, is exactly 9 feet, and I didn't cut these 9 feet. I decided to level it out all the way across, but I did put my 9-foot marker on there to know where I was at on each beam. And from the first beam here to the end down there, I'm about 2 inches difference, and I don't really understand. It is nice and perfectly level, but I don't understand where the 2 inches came from. And I thought, well, maybe the weight of this structure has started to sink down in the ground a little bit, which is possible, you know. Yeah, it certainly is possible. These skids weigh a good bit on their own, and then adding all the weight to it. But I came back and put a level on the floor, and it is a little bit off, but it is not 2 inches off. So I don't really understand what's going on the top here. I don't think it's going to hurt me any. Being level is obviously more important to me than 2 inches of extra space, but I don't really understand how that happened, especially after I put the level on the floor and it's not showing 2 inches off. It's just barely on the bubble's just barely on the line. So it's pretty daggone close. So I don't really understand what's going on up here. I laminated 2x6s to make the main beams. Put 3 together, and then I got to this one and I decided, well, I didn't need 3 in the middle, so I only put 2. And that's the only one that has 2, and I'm not really liking it. I mean, I think structurally it'll be just fine, but part of my OCD and anal retentiveness is that's going to drive me crazy. So I think I'm going to come back and add a third one there, but I'm going to make sure that I got enough of the 2x6s for my rafters before I do that. I'll also put some bracing in the tops up here, some angle bracing to provide a little more support and cause it'll look better. All right, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna get up here and finish tying in the purlins and then get to building rafters. All right, I think that's probably about all I'm going to get done today. It's kind of a goal. I do want to get some of the decking put on up here, but I've got to run the decking in the table saw. I think that'll take me a little bit. I don't think I'll get any put up. Made a couple mistakes here, not oversights, flat out darn mistakes. All right, so for starters, obviously, I left all these hanging over as long as the boards were. They're all in the 9 to 10 foot range. I'll go through there with a chalk line and mark them all off even and have a nice little overhang there, and probably use that to put some tools or something on the back. Thinking about it, I might extend it out back here in the future. Got a nice little space here. I don't know where we keep pig stuff at, maybe. Let me flip this camera around. I'll show you the mistakes. All right, I put these on 36-inch centers, and if you get barn roofs or garage roofs, typically when they make them out 2x6, they do 4-foot centers. I didn't want to quite do 4-foot centers because I don't trust myself sitting on the planks to put the roof on. So I did 3-foot, and I got down here to the end and it had 40 inches left over, and I thought, well, no big deal, because I knew it wasn't perfect working out anyway. But then when I got up here to attach these, I realized that I had not screwed this one in. I was screwing each one of these in at the 36 point mark up through here, putting my square on it, make sure they were square. And then I was going to come back to the back side and do the same. And when I started down here on this end, because that's where I was, and nailing them coming this way, and then I realized I had not screwed this one in, so it was only 32 inches, and I took the measurements for all these off of that one. So that's where that 4 inches came from right there. Too late to worry about it. It's just a pallet barn. It's not going to affect anything that much. So everything worked out pretty good. I was happy with these posts all stood up straight and level. That's what I was shooting for this. This is going to support the peak of the roof, and we'll have another portion will come out over top of here, and this is where the pigs will be. I think that's all I'm going to get done. I got to go back to work tomorrow. I won't get back on this until next weekend. Calling for some pretty extensive rain this week. We're in the 1 to 2 inch range right now, but of all surrounding areas are calling for 3 to 4. I hope we don't get the 3 to 4 here. But I'm gonna have to pack up everything real good here, make sure the rain doesn't hurt anything, all my tools and stuff, and wind. I'll have to protect it from that. The structure is nice and sound. It ain't going nowhere. I'm really happy with how this is going so far. Pallet build. Everything in this so far has been repurposed. The floor we made out of those 7x7 foot shipping skids that I got from work that were going to get thrown away. The pallets were all free, also going to be thrown away. And the 2x6 lumber. Now, I did buy some lumber for the decking, and that's all right here. But in addition to that, my brother, and we appreciate it very much, gave me 2 skids of some old construction dimensional lumber he had over there, and that's what all this other material is in this. I bought some store-bought 2x12s that I used to tie in the top rails, the top plates, and the wall on the end down here where we're going to put the door. Purchased all that, so it's not much yet. Bought a box of nails, was like 45 bucks. So far I've probably got about 200 bucks in this thing so far. We are going to buy a metal roof for it. That'll be the most costly part of this entire project. And I bought some treated posts as well. Those will make up this end of it, because I have to put them in the ground. They'll go in the ground with concrete and put a header across it, and more rafters will connect to this purlin coming this way. All right, so that's where we're at now. I'm really pleased so far with how this is going. This is going way better than that pallet shed that I built. The pallet shed is just fine. I built that in one day actually, but I didn't quite do it. I wasn't being as particular about the pallet shed as I'm being with this, and I'm really liking how sturdy it's becoming and everything. I love it. This is going to be a structure to be here for a long time, way after we're gone probably. Make sure you're looking for Hematite Homestead on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Hit that subscribe button and continue to follow along as we repurpose thrown away materials to build a barn. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey, this ain't a turkey barn. It's going to be a pig barn. Piglets. No turkeys allowed.